karma is usually translated in the West.
Conor McGregor's words are catching up to him.
And from a certain point of view, you can say that's so.
Karma is inevitable. Sooner or later, it gets us all, and all debts are paid in full.
So if you think more deeply about it, what it's referring to is the compulsiveness of our behavior. We act and speak and think in certain ways.
You can run, but you will never outlast it. No matter who you are, a bum or a multimillionaire, life always finds a way to humble you. From his meteoric rise to stardom to his stunning falls, McGregor's career is a tale of unparalleled highs and lows, but I've noticed one thing that is central to his journey.
What?
Karma. McGregor, the brash and confident Irishman who once seemed untouchable, has faced the consequences of his actions in ways both insane and poetic.
This whole thing? With the anger leak?
Yeah.
Now, I know I posted a video not too long ago explaining how he ruined his career through inactivity, but today I'm cooking something different. So let's take a look at 4 specific occasions in McGregor's career that might make you question your beliefs.
Panic wrestler. That's who I fight. Dustin's going out on a stretcher. That's my prediction.
You bottled it, mate. You bottled it with a soft toe. Don't ever forget it.
Whichever higher beings you believe in, he was around to serve the biggest star in MMA his own dose of karma. Take a look back and observe, and you'll see what I mean. Actually, allow me to do it.
This is about to be kind of good. Hold on, bro. Hold on. What is this? Conor McGregor's words are catching up to him. The fighting business. Oh man, thank you for the fucking sending this one, bro. This is wow.
Channels going right now. Thank you to the fighting business. Absolutely amazing.
You may be young, fast, and powerful with impeccable timing and deadly precision.
I honestly feel I'm at a stage in my life where I can overcome anything. I can conquer anything. That's where I feel I'm at now.
You may have the company worshipping you and the president himself singing
Full
your
screen, I got
praises.
you.
He throws that left hand so effortless, but when it touches people, man, they go down. The kid is super special, man.
Hell, you may have an entire nation behind you, following you everywhere to offer their support, but no matter how bulletproof you think you are, and no matter how delusional your self-belief is, beneath the surface lays a simple truth that will eventually catch up to you if you fuck around too much.
So, like, after the fact, there was speculation that was a career ender. Now, what
I thought it was over as well.
Prior to 2016, Conor McGregor was untouchable,
Untouchable, bro.
impervious to failure.
He was the guy to watch. Even if you did it, dude. Even if you didn't watch UFC, you've seen his highlights, bro. Even if you didn't, I wasn't even I really wasn't in the UFC. Didn't really know what the fuck it was. But his highlights were everywhere. Him and Ronda Rousey, bro. I swear to God, they were everywhere, bro. You couldn't not see them. You scrolled on Twitter, there they were. You scrolled on Instagram, there they were. Bitch, if you scrolled on Pornhub, there the fuck they were. They put UFC on the map, dude. On the map. It was insane. It was insane to see those come ups. And from their come ups, UFC made a crazy come up too.
He said was gospel.
Like, it was beautiful.
You could simply not envision a scenario where he would fail. Back in those days, you denied him of greatness, and next thing you know, you're getting flamed to hell and back by a horde of passionate Irish fans, and, well, you can't really blame them. Mystic Mac was out there predicting the future, and whatever he said came true. In addition to his entertaining personality and style, what drew the masses to Conor McGregor was his commitment to being a fighter. From the very start, McGregor made it known he was obsessed with the sport.
I have an unhealthy obsession with spending money.
His activity and consistency is what truly separated him from the rest of the pack.
But I have a healthy obsession with making it. So it's all good.
He fought often, fought anyone, and even fought when injured. Those who did not abide with his principles were subject to ridicule. Anyone who pulled out was a coward. Those who did not fight consistently were labeled has-beens. And last but not least, those who shot for takedowns were afraid for their lives. Panic wrestlers. Every last one of them.
Panic wrestler. That's who I fight. And if they're not a wrestler, if they're not a panic wrestler, they will become a panic wrestler. And that's as simple as that.
When Conor McGregor defeated Jose Aldo at UFC 194, just as he had promised, his reputation as a once-in-a-lifetime striker grew.
Bro's really a master at getting in your head, dude. That's what I feel like made him so big. It wasn't just he was a great fighter, but he was a master at getting in niggas' heads. He would shoot at anything. If your mom just died, he was gonna say something about it. he was gonna say something about it, bro, and it made the fight scene way more realistic. He was fucking crazy with it. It's not the Hugo. I'm not really a fucking a music listener, bro, so I'm not gonna listen to it.
Grew to unprecedented levels. That left hand of invitation as a once-in-a-lifetime striker grew to unprecedented levels. That left hand of his was so deadly and accurate that even welterweights would turn into panic wrestlers. For now, though, lightweight was the next move, and McGregor was scheduled to face the champion, Rafael dos Anjos, at UFC 196, but he went running too.
It's always happening. They always pull, they always run, they always make it out like they want it, but really they don't want it. So I was expecting it, you know. I looked at the picture Dos Anjos put up, and it's a bruise. I mean, I heard ice works wonders. What do you want me to say?
Keep those words in mind. More on this later, but with RDA out of 196, Nate Diaz stepped in. Diaz, a skilled boxer known for his endurance and stupid chin, was going to be no exception. McGregor predicted a first-round knockout because not even Nate Diaz was capable of withstanding that left hand. In their fight, however, Nate endured that left hand over and over again and did not back off or panic wrestle. In the second, when a bloody Nate Diaz landed his signature 1-2, McGregor did something we never expected him to do: panic wrestle. Needless to say, Diaz, a black belt, easily got the better of the grappling exchange and became the first person to defeat Conor in the UFC.
He's shooting for a takedown, and I'm like, oh, you're a wrestler now. You're a wrestler. Remember, I'm the black belt in jiu-jitsu, and you're shooting on me now? So you
Bad idea.
Big mistake.
Yeah, bad idea,
that
bro.
1-2 by Diaz was empowered by karma itself, and it turns out McGregor himself was not opposed to wrestling when he needed to. The loss to Diaz was avenged a few months later, and McGregor was right back on track when he dismantled Eddie Alvarez at UFC 205, fulfilling destiny as he became the first ever simultaneous double champ in UFC history. And then we didn't see him inside the octagon for 2 years. In 2018, he made his return and was ripe for another dose of karma, this time on the biggest stage in MMA. Built up as the biggest grudge match in history, McGregor showed...
It was 2 years before this fight? Maybe that was it, huh? I mean, that could, like, just theory probably could have played a big part, obviously. Like, you're 2 years off, bro. You might have been training, but was Khabib fighting at the time consistently? Damn, I didn't know it was 2 years between that. Wow. It felt like it was like he was active the whole time.
In 2018, he made his return and was ripe for another.
He got smoked. Yeah, it was crazy.
This time on the biggest stage in MMA, built up as the biggest grudge match in history, McGregor showed no mercy.
I am going to truly love putting a bad beating on this little glass jaw rat.
And in addition to calling Khabib a glass jaw rat and a panic wrestler, he went after his family and promised Khabib danger outside of competition.
Well, you just show up to this fight and we do this the noble way. Pull out, and then you know what's gonna happen to you back home, kid. So that's all I'll say about that.
Fuck peace. There will never be peace here. I always say you should aim for peace. But if you can't aim for peace, aim between the eyes.
McGregor wanted a war at UFC 229, but the battle with Khabib alone was too much. Controlled in the first, mauled in the second, and slapped in the third, McGregor broke character towards the end, letting Khabib know.
It's only business.
Only one person entered the octagon with an iron mindset and thirst for war.
It's only business.
It was not Conor McGregor.
It's only business. Now it's only business?
Broke character towards the end, letting Khabib know.
Nah, Khabib says, nah, so you fucked up. What do you mean it's only business now? You fucked up. Now I'm like, what? I'm ending your whole bloodline. Fuck that.
Only one person entered the octagon with an iron mindset and thirst for war, and it was not Conor McGregor. After submitting the Irish superstar in the 4th round, Khabib went to demonstrate true warfare at cage side. After the bus attack and the press conferences, McGregor got the war he wanted, and he was simply not prepared. For a lot of people, UFC 229 was the end of Conor McGregor after such a bad loss to someone he hated. On a stage as big as UFC 229, there was no coming back, but after another long layoff and a quick victory over an aging, stiff and stuck in the mud Donald Cerrone, Conor charted a quick route back to title contention. All he had to do was get past Dustin Poirier, someone he had beaten before, but the rematch at UFC 257 went a lot different than most expected.
No one saw this one coming, dude. I'm not gonna lie. No one saw this one coming. At least I didn't. I was like, oh, this is gonna be an easy dub. I really was. I remember watching. I was like, oh, he had a win over him before. This is gonna be an easy sweep. Easy sweep, bro.
You know what happened. It was all cordial and friendly between Poirier and McGregor. There was a little karma involved as the hand-picked ticket back to the title ended up knocking out McGregor himself.
Put the camera up. I got you, dude.
Let's move on to the pick ticket back to the title. Ended up knocking out McGregor himself, but let's move on to the trilogy, on to UFC 264. McGregor reverted to his old and perhaps his true persona, maybe to get an edge over Poirier, but I believe he was just unhinged. Before this, Conor McGregor talked trash. For 264, he simply talked vile.
Last question, win by KO or just to win? Saturday night.
KO out on a stretcher. This man is going.
I'm gonna go through his head, put holes in them, and take it off his shoulders. That's the goal.
He didn't sound as believable here. Is it just me? The way he breathed before he said KO, it didn't sound like the old Conor McGregor. When he said it, it was back then. When he said it, you could hear the conviction. As I'm watching this now, I don't hear it. It sounds like he's breathing. He's not sure. He's not sure.
By KO or just to win? Saturday night.
KO out on a stretcher. This man is going.
I'm gonna
I
go
don't
through
know.
his head, put holes in them, and take it off his shoulders. That's the goal here.
Even hardcore Conor fans thought he was maybe going a bit too far. His entire personality had developed to what looked like a seething and screaming psychopath.
I'm gonna make this man pay with his life, and I mean it. You're dead in that octagon tomorrow night.
From Mystic Mac prophesying a knockout to screaming bloody murder, McGregor marched to the octagon with nothing but hate. That man, with everything he had said and promised, was the most evil individual in MMA that night. And spoiler alert, everything McGregor said in the build-up came back to bite and even cripple him. Pretty much literally. First one to shoot a takedown, McGregor.
My record in mixed martial arts competition is 19 wins and 1 loss. I only count knockouts.
First one to attempt a submission, McGregor.
Oh, I said I'm gonna take him out in a stretcher. He's going out in a stretcher in this fight.
The only one to be stretchered out of the octagon.
Dustin's going out in a stretcher. That's my prediction.
A broken man.
He's a corpse, a dead body, a blank face. It's gonna get his ass whooped and took out in the
UFC turning to WWE. This, I feel like in this point it was like Conor. He got to the point where he thought that the reason why he was winning because he was talking shit. I think that's what it was. That's what it feels like. It was like, I feel like the reason why I kept winning is because I was talking shit. And so he went back to that in this point. And he quickly learned that's not the fucking reason. Like, niggas are not just going to let you get in their heads over and over and over again.
A broken man.
He's a corpse, a dead body, a blank face. It's gonna get his ass
It's just
whooped
like,
and
you
took
can
out
do
in
it
the
once, but after that, it's not going to keep happening.
Was the end. Then 264 was the burial. Never mind the loss. The injury that Conor sustained was a death sentence, but even after such a bad night, McGregor often said, usually in a tweet at the end of UFC pay-per-views, that he was not done. Every lightweight and a handful of welterweights called him out.
Where you at, McNugget? Conor McGregor. Come back down to featherweight.
You could fight on steroids. There's no weight he can choose.
Conor McGregor, I want you.
Some of them multiple times, but this one dude was especially persistent, even showing up on WWE Raw to call him out.
Still got one dude on my mind.
3-year hiatus, barely relevant as a contender. Bout scheduled at
Coin, thank you for the follow. All thank you for the follow.
Mattered the moment Dana White announced the return of Conor McGregor. As much as he had regressed over the past couple of years in terms of fighting ability and general sanity, MMA fans knew for a fact that once the contract was signed, the announcement was official. McGregor was going to show up.
He's fought once in 8 years. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, he ain't fight too frequent for my liking. I need to be solid proof that people are going to show up, and he's a consistent pull-out merchant.
After all, Conor McGregor despises pull-out merchants.
I looked at the picture Dos Anjos put up, and it's a bruise. I mean, I heard ice works wonders. What do you want me to say?
Here I am again. Conor McGregor is out of 303 versus Michael Chandler with an injury.
It really came full circle, didn't it?
Damn.
You bottled it, mate. You bottled it with a soft toe. Don't ever forget it.
Nearly 8 years later, Rafael dos Anjos was allowed an opportunity to deliver a response to McGregor, and his tweet really puts into perspective how much has changed. For years, RDA was laughed at because the guy had the gall to pull out of a mega fight due to a broken foot, but now you have Conor McGregor who pulled out of a record-setting event with a bruised toe. That's how far the mighty have fallen. That's what karma does to a man. From the peak of the sport to the current depths of defeat and irrelevancy, Conor McGregor's journey underscores a timeless truth. Karma is indeed inevitable, whether we see him again or not. His story serves as a reminder that no one is beyond the reach of their actions. I said it before and I'll say it again. Life always finds a way to humble you.
Damn. Bit in the fucking ass, man. Bit in the fucking ass. Everything he made fun of people for, I bit him in the ass. Just almost weirdly beautiful in a way. Great video by the Fighting Business, dude. Great video. We're gonna end there, dude. We're gonna end there. Holy shit.